Whether you're watching, listening or reading this, welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we're on a mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of one lap around the world. It's a staggering 40,075 kilometres. It's going to take somewhere close to 14 years to accomplish. So plenty of time to raise that money. And I'm going to do a minimum of 5 kilometres every day, and I'm even going to do it barefoot style. So those regulars will know I vlog when I run about my passions, which are entrepreneurship and running, and most importantly how these topics link with helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise as a release mechanism. Now it's a very cold and foggy and damp morning today. It's about 2 degrees, so not great running conditions, but no wind, so can't complain too much. And it is Monday motivation today. We're going to talk about all things productivity and motivation. And today's topic is the importance of a break schedule for you and your team. So as always, if you like this episode, give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So, a break schedule. Okay, so if we go back a few years, predominantly focusing on kind of the US market, if you like. You know, the US are one of the most hard-working nations out there. I mean, to the extremes that, you know, their staff members and employees generally only get 2 weeks holiday over the whole year, which is staggering, isn't it, when you think about it? Whereas most people in the UK get 5 to 6 weeks of holiday throughout the year. So very, very different kind of mindset. And there's this kind of culture that comes across from the US whereby it's all about hustle, hard work, you know, do the hours, impress your boss, do the overtime, you know, impress your peers to be able to be promoted and set the examples. It was always considered that the examples that should be set are work hard, do more, take less time off, you know, show that you're an absolute powerhouse, and you'll get your just reward. And okay, in many respects, that often happened. People grafted so hard into a promotion, but then all that happens in that promotion is the expectations go higher, the workload gets more, and clearly that cycle isn't sustainable as a person, and most importantly, it's not healthy. Okay, so we're in a world now where more and more people are starting to realise the importance of getting a balance right. And what we mean by that is it's not healthy to devote your whole life to work. You need to have that balance that enables you to focus on clearing your head. You know, this vlog, for example, is highly focused on helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise. Now forget the exercise for now and focus on the first part, helping people overcome stress, overwhelm, anxiety, in that order. Okay, stress happens first. So if you're overworked and the workload is too high, your stress levels go up. Now if you don't have a release mechanism, I mean I talk about exercise or vlog running as mine, but in this example we're talking about a break. A break is a release mechanism. It allows you the time to clear your head, to process what's just gone on, to gain clarity, refocus and move on. So if you don't have that break and you can just power through lunch, you know, work yourself silly to impress your manager in order to progress in the business, it's not sustainable. And all that's going to happen if you don't relieve those daily, weekly stresses frequently enough, you'll get too many stresses that are flying around your mind, and they'll then evolve into overwhelm, which is stage 2 of this cycle. Stage 2 is overwhelm. There's too many things going on for you to make a logical decision of what you do next. So when you're overwhelmed, you generally have this kind of seizure or this mask of procrastination that falls over you, which stops you doing anything because you're like too confused, you don't know which way to turn. Okay, and at that stage, if the warning signs are there, if they're not dealt with at that stage and you kind of release the pressure from this kind of pressure cooker that you've created for yourself, or your working environment's created for you, it then evolves to anxiety. Now, anxiety is panic. It's anxious, constantly worrying about the smallest little things. And you're flirting, when you hit anxiety, you're flirting with the edge of mental health issues. And clearly we want to avoid this. Okay, so today is about the importance of a break schedule. So today, right, I'm on my vlog run, my morning running vlog, that I do every day. Obviously we know why I do it, but it was obviously the challenge that I've set myself, but it's my release mechanism. I clear my head doing this, okay? I process what's going on. I gain clarity on where I am. I refocus. And if I didn't have that, I mean, I always use this to end my episodes, but I've made, since I've been doing this running vlog, the last 10.5 to 11 months now, okay, I've made more progress in these months than I have in the previous 4 to 5 years. So if we're talking about productivity boost, do you think, and I was in an environment where I was overworked for the last 3 years, certainly. I was doing crazy hours and it wasn't the nicest environment to work within, okay? And clearly that had an adverse impact on my productivity levels. So hopefully there's social proof there that this stuff really works. So now we've established that the old school US mentality, and it's not all US companies, I mean, one of my favourite books is called It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work, and it's by the founders of a US based company, software company, project management software called Basecamp, okay? And it's kind of like hippie style in the way they approach business, but they create this culture that people love to work within, where it puts the people first. You know, it's their well-being, and the idea is a happy person means productive workforce, and I'm more in line with that. I mean, I have a team of 15 people. I'm always conscious of their workload, how many hours they're doing. Can we do things to make it easier for them? You know, that's the role of a leader, is making sure that your team are happy, motivated, and if they're not blaming them, blaming yourself and trying to look at what you can do to make it better for them. And I think that's something that not enough people do. And break schedules are just one of the ways in which we can do this, okay? So it's proven that taking a break to clear your mind, you process what's going on, get a chance to evaluate what's happening, because when you're involved in stuff, you often don't get time to think. Having that freedom to kind of clear your head, process what's happened, refocus and gain clarity and move forwards, there's a scientific justification that it improves productivity. So clearly, super important that you do that. We've just talked about the potential impact of if you don't do it, and break is just one way you can try to do this, we're focusing on breaks today, that it can result in you being stressed, overwhelmed, and then anxious, which is mental health. So surely there's evidence there that suggests it helps your well-being. So another main reason to integrate regular breaks into your schedule and take time out. Number 3, you know, I do my runs. Some of my best ideas, I'm not the most creative person of people, so I'm not going to lie, but even my creative juices flow when I'm out in the countryside like I am today, more so when I'm sitting in front of a computer or on the phone or whatever. Okay, I'm far more creative. My mind can wander freely without pressure, and ultimately it can kind of uncover some cool thoughts and concepts in my mind. Okay, so an improvement in creativity by taking a break. And the 4th one is it can reinforce positive habits. Okay, taking a walk like a break is a really positive habit, and it can really help you as an individual from a health perspective. Okay, maybe you go off and read something educational in a break. Again, it takes your mind off things, you relax, maybe you do yoga. You know, you can reinforce positive habits that have a directly proportionate positive impact on your life by having a regular break schedule. I mean, there are productivity tools out there like Pomodoro technique, which is working 20-minute chunks or 25 minutes, I can't remember. And then after 4, you take, after every one, you take a 5-minute break. 20 minutes, 5-minute break. And you do that 4 times, and then after the 4th, you take a 25-minute break, and you continue going. So you think of how many breaks you're getting in a day. Some people power through, they don't even eat lunch. Okay, that's not healthy, it's not sustainable. It's not going to win you anything in the long term. You might get short-term wins in terms of promotions, but all that's happening is you're setting unrealistic expectations, because your manager's going to expect you to live up to those standards, and when they promote you, they're going to give you more responsibility, more work, more overwhelm, and all that will happen at some point in the future, you'll have a breakdown. So it's, sorry, my phone is ringing, 1 second. So it's really important that you kind of understand, you know, the importance of a break schedule. So hopefully I've explained it well enough today. So if I was summarising, the 4 main reasons for doing this is, number 1 is productivity boost. Okay, there's scientific evidence, so much scientific evidence out there that backs this up, that regular breaks enhance and boost productivity. Okay, number 2 is well-being. Okay, if you don't have a release of which a break is, okay, those stresses are going to build up and build up and build up. They're going to turn into overwhelm, they're going to turn into anxiety, and then you're flirting with mental health issues, which is clearly something you want to avoid. So the well-being is number 2, sorry. Number 3, creativity. Getting out, having a break, when your mind's clear, it allows your mind to wander. And when you allow your mind to wander, it will come up with some of the best ideas that you wouldn't normally come up with. So again, there's evidence that backs this up. Creativity. And number 4, the reinforcement of positive habits. So a break could be going for a walk. It could be a break to eat something healthy, rather than rushing home because you haven't had a chance to have a break, picking up some processed snack food on the way home. You know, there's another. It could be you go off and read in your break. You know, clear your head, learn something new. It might be that you go rest or have yoga, meditate, where you recharge. So there's so many different positive habits that can be reinforced by integrating a regular break into your process. So hope that's useful. Really keen to hear your thoughts on this. But as always, if you like this episode, give it a like, comment and subscribe. If you've got any questions, drop me a comment. I'll respond to every one. If it's a bigger question, I'll do a separate vlog episode and tag you in. Do check out the links in my bios, as you can watch, listen and read this content, and it's all sorted nice and neatly by topic, so you should be able to find relevant information. But most importantly, you'll be able to keep up to date with my challenge to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging, which is my release mechanism, on consecutive days, the distance of 1 lap around the world. So please keep following that journey. Really, really important to me, more than anything else I do. And finally, as I've already touched on in this episode, my content is always linked to helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise, in my case run vlogging, as a release mechanism to clear your head, to process what's going on, to get clarity, refocus and move on. Without that process, those daily pressures in the form of stress, those weekly pressures in the form of stress are going to build up like pressure does in a pipe. And we all know what happens with pressure that builds up in a pipe that isn't released. The pipe will burst. So in that instance, the stresses have evolved to overwhelm. You've kind of seized, you've procrastinated, and then it turns into worry and anxiety. And that's where you're flirting with mental health issues. And in that instance, the pipe has burst. You're having a breakdown, or your business is having a breakdown. It's clearly something we want to avoid. Now, I've been there. I've lost multiple businesses because of this. I've lost multiple business partners because of this. And I've almost been bankrupt because of this. So I'm pretty well experienced in helping people avoid this. Because believe you me, it's a deep, dark place, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. And, just by having that release mechanism in place can make a monumental game-changing difference. There's no coincidence in the last 10.5 months of doing this running vlog that I've made more progress than I have done in the previous 4 to 5 years. Okay, so hopefully there's enough social proof that this stuff really works. And my pledge to you is, if you are someone struggling with this, drop me a message, okay? There's no catch here. The Runpreneur vlog is all about giving value, raising money for children's charities, but donation is always optional. It's free, okay? So if you need help, reach out. No sale, no catch. And it's often easier asking a stranger than someone nearest and dearest. And we'll jump on a quick call and I'll give you a few hints and tips that I know are transferable into your lives, because I've helped so many other entrepreneurs already, and people already integrate them into their lives to make really positive differences. So the olive branch is there. Don't resist it if you need it. So all I have to say is, if you like this episode, give it a like, comment and a subscribe. Check out links in my bios to keep up to date with my challenge to raise £1 million for children's charities by run blogging on consecutive days, distance of 1 lap around the world. And as always, I'll leave you with stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow.